The first addresses the barrier between the river with fresh and sweet water and the sea with salty and bitter water. Okay. Now, we are going to talk about different story from that took place between two seas. Now we are talking about the first one took place between two seas. Both of them are salty. But now we are going to talk about the barriers between two seas. One of them is fresh and sweet. And the other is what? Is salty and bitter. Okay. Same thing. There is a barrier between the water of the river and the water of the sea. Between the fresh water and the salty water. Let us go through the findings of recent or modern oceanography. It has been discovered by modern science that fresh water of the rivers meet the salty water of seas to form partition zones of separation in estuaries. Okay, so rivers empty their water into seas. And the point of meeting is the barrier and the partition or the protecting partition. We would like to see what the modern oceanography says about this zone, about this barrier, in order to see what's going on. Why the river water stays fresh and the sea water stays salty or salt. Why? We'll get the answer from here. The partition zone of separation in an estuary has different levels of salinity from that of the river, and the sea increasing from the riverside and the this is the salt or the salinity increasing from the and the salinity is increasing from the riverside to the seaside. Okay? In this picture. This is an estuary. What does estuary mean? Estuary means the point of meeting between a river and the sea. Okay? And this picture tells us about this zone, this barrier. Look, this is the river. It has fresh water with zero salinity. Okay. Once the river empties its water into the sea, the salinity level changes. It increases from the side of the river to the side of the sea. See? 10%, 20%, 30%, and this is the level of salinity in the sea, which is 33%. Fresh and sweet are salty and bitter. And in between them, there is the barrier. There is the barrier which is called or named estuary.
Means the point of the barrier is mixed of fresh water and salty water?
Yeah, of course.
In different percentages.
Okay? As I said, once the river empties its water into the sea, the salinity changes. And it increases from the side of the river until the side of the sea. To form this zone, it's called the partition zone of separation. And this is the barrier. This is the barrier. This figure is coming from this book, Introductory Oceanography by Thurman, page 301. It's coming from where? It's coming from a scientific book. Okay. So, the river does not transgress the sea, and the sea does not transgress the river. But there is a partition zone of separation. You know what is the wisdom behind this? This partition zone is considered as a protection zone for the livings in the sea and the livings in the river, because the livings in the sea cannot live in the water of the river. In the opposite, the livings of the river cannot live in the water of the sea. So this is a partition zone of separation in order to protect the life of the sea and the life of the river. Very beautiful. Okay.
Also, people protect the water itself, the water of the river, because if it's next to the water of the sea, it becomes salty.
Of course, it becomes salty, and maybe people cannot take the advantage from it. Okay, here we have a real picture about growth of estuaries. This is a group of estuaries for the Ganges River. Ganges River in India. Ganges River empties its water into the Bay of Bengal in the Indian Ocean. This is the delta. This is the delta of the what? Of the Ganges River. The Ganges River empties its water into the Bay of Bengal in Indian Ocean. This picture was taken by a satellite and not a direct picture. This is an image coming from the satellite to differentiate between different entities according to their temperature. Green, okay, land, okay, dry land, water of the river, water of the sea. The image comes to give you different colors according to the temperature of the items in that area. Satellite uses the what? The remote sensing. Okay? If you take a normal picture, you will not see this in different colors. You will see what? The real picture. But this is an image from satellite to give you different colors in order to distinguish between the water coming from the river and the water in the ocean. If you go and look at this area through your eyes, you will not be able to distinguish between the water of the river and the water of the sea or the ocean. See here? This is the river. Delta. Okay? And this is the partition zone of separation. And this dark one is the water of the ocean. Okay? Who knows the secrets of the seas?
Okay.
It was impossible at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, 14 centuries ago, to see by naked eye the barriers between two seas or the partition zones between seas and rivers. No one at that time had the ability to distinguish between the water of the sea, and the water of two seas, or the water of the sea and the water of the rivers at the point of meeting. No one at that time. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not have at the time the equipment to discover such fact. He never sailed. He never sailed. He lived either in Mecca or in Al-Medina. A dry area. He did not know anything about sea or even rivers. Zamzam. Yes. Zamzam is a river coming from paradise. Alhamdulillah. So, then who informed the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about the sea secrets? Allah, who knows the secrets of the seas, informed his Prophet, glory be to Allah. This is the only conclusion we can reach. That at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there was no way to know such secret. There was no way to know the secrets of the sea. In addition to that, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was illiterate, and he lived among the nation of illiterates. From where can they know the secrets of the sea? Actually, if you go back before the 2 centuries, before the discovery of these phenomena, you will find just only superstitions, myths about the seas. And they are just only lies and lies.